Today I am going to demonstrate how to set up a Bedwars mode on your server. We will attempt to replicate the experience of the largest servers, where you have the option to enter the arena via a sign through an NPC that will randomly select a map for us, or through another NPC where we have the ability to choose the map ourselves. I will additionally demonstrate how to upload Bedwars maps, configure shops, set up teams, and everything else in this episode, so let's begin. If the video assists you and you find it enjoyable, I would truly appreciate a subscription. I would absolutely love for there to be a multitude of you. You can additionally leave a like, a comment, and let's proceed. If you were considering purchasing Minecraft hosting, you can explore the affiliate links I've provided in the description. By purchasing through them, you support this channel, so a big thank you. Perhaps one of the hosting options on this list might interest you. You can also buy me a coffee, the link is next to it. Thank you so much. And let's begin. To develop our mode, we will utilize the Scrumming Bedwars plugin. This particular plugin is quite straightforward to configure, frequently updated, and possesses sufficient features to establish a functional Bedwars mode for enjoyable gameplay. Furthermore, in this particular guide, I will be utilizing the Multiverse Core plugin to distinctly separate the world of our arena from our lobby area. If you happen to be using BungeeCord or Velocity, this step is not necessary, but we will discuss it in more detail later on. Additionally, to manage permissions, I am downloading lag perms. If you need a bit more information about managing ranks and permissions, there is a link in the description to a full guide on lag perms where you can learn a lot about this topic. In order for lag perms to work, I need to install the Vault plugin. And later, optionally, we will use an NPC plugin. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Here, by the way, I'll provide a helpful tip regarding Spigot. This particular plugin is a paid one, but by clicking here, you will be redirected to the Jenkins page where we have Citizens 2. Click on it and you can officially download the free version directly from the creators. It's important to pay attention to the version of this plugin because if you have an older version of the Minecraft server, some of the newest versions of this plugin will not work. In the version history section, we have in parentheses the specific version of Minecraft that each version of the plugin is fully compatible with. When you are downloading this particular plugin from the Jenkins site, it is absolutely essential to pay very close attention to this detail. If the plugin does not function correctly for you, it is crucial to verify whether the plugin version aligns with your specific Minecraft version. Also optionally, for the menu that appeared when we clicked on the NPC, for the arena selection, we will use the Deluxe Menus plugin, and for it to work, we also need the Placeholder API plugin, and naturally all the hyperlinks are conveniently located in the description. Therefore, you can proceed to download all these essential plugins from those respective websites. Once you have successfully downloaded them, you should navigate into your server files. It might be similar to what I have here, a server within files, or it could be, for instance, a server hosted on some hosting service. You simply need to access your server panel, navigate into the files, locate the plugins folder, enter it, and deposit all the plugins I have mentioned that you require. The minimum required plugins are Screaming Bedwars, Lag Perms, Vault, and Multiverse Core if you want to have isolated arenas. Once you place the plugins in this folder, you just need to start the server and check with the command *pl to see if all the plugins you need are highlighted in green. If so, then let's begin. If not, you probably uploaded the wrong version of the plugin to the wrong version of the Minecraft engine, so you'll need to figure it out and upload it correctly. Today, I will use the Div and Dev map. I found it on Planet Minecraft. You can use your own maps, build them yourself, or download them from other places, etc. Make sure that if you want to use these maps commercially on your server, you have the rights to them, that you have purchased them, or have permission from the author. For instance, today I am utilizing such a map, and naturally I provide a link to it in the description. Therefore, I am downloading this particular map from here. I have a redirection to Mediafire and I proceed to click download. Certainly these maps available on Planet Minecraft are uploaded through different methods, so I proceed to download them. I have it right here, and it is in a .zip file format, so I will open it and extract the folder to ensure it is not compressed. I am able to delete the compressed file now, so I have my map available here. Now I will navigate back into the server files, rename this map to something more straightforward, such as Arena 1, and transfer it to the primary folder of my server. This is the directory where you have your plugins, world files, configuration settings, versions, and so forth. This is essentially the primary server directory. Now, with the assistance of the Multiverse Core plugin, we have the capability to load this map as an independent world on our server. The concept is to transform this ordinary world on my server into a lobby where my players will select an arena, and that additional world will be utilized for gameplay purposes. And I must add here that you don't have to use Multiverse Core if you don't want to. I could simply build islands myself on this world where I am now, where the arena selection will be, and the configuration of this plugin later is identical to what I show in this video. Or if I had ready-made schematics and wanted to paste them, I could use Lightmatica or World Edit and paste them here. If you are interested in learning the process of pasting such structures, I recommend checking out my comprehensive tutorials on World Edit or Lightmatica. The links are conveniently provided in the description. Keep in mind, if you are in the process of creating a server on a more extensive scale, it is advisable to utilize BungeeCord rather than Multiverse Core and separate the arena and lobby into two distinct servers. Because in that case, you do not distribute the load on a single server, your game operates more smoothly and you can accommodate a greater number of players. Therefore, keep in mind that merely adding a distinct world for the arena, as I am preparing to do, is a less scalable approach. So now indeed, if we have that arena in the files, we can use the command mv import and choose the name of the new world that we want to load, add to our server, and it is the file arena1. I press the enter key. We still need to explicitly specify that this is a standard world, and now, after pressing enter, our world starts to load. We have received confirmation that it was successful. Now we are able to switch between these worlds by utilizing the command mv teleport and selecting the specific name of the world, which is Arena 1. And now an important note, I must use the unsafe flag because it teleports me into the air. At this moment, I need to swiftly transition to creative mode and ascend. To avoid this situation, we will shortly establish a new spawn point within this world. Now that I have ascended, I am able to utilize the command mv set spawn, ensuring that whenever I teleport to this world, I will appear on this bridge. And now when we want to return to that first world, our basic one, we use the mv teleport command again, but we choose the regular world. And here, earlier on this block, I simply set mv set spawn for myself. This is just for us, the admins, so we can freely teleport between these worlds. Our players won't use these commands. Alright, now we'll start setting up our arena so we can launch games on it. Let's go. So let's return to that world, and as you can see, I've already appeared here. Now I must position myself precisely in the lower corner of this arena, so I will fly slightly downwards and a bit to the sides to encompass the entire arena. This way, there won't be any blocks either to the right or to the left, ensuring that we are in the complete bottom corner. Now we create our arena, we enter the command bwadmin, choose the name of the arena, for example Arena 1. It can be a different name than the name of our file, but to keep it consistent, I will leave this name and add. I press enter and we get the information that the arena has been created. Now standing in this corner, we type bwadmin, choose the arena we want to edit, and select the first position of this arena. So we do this in the first corner, press enter, and we get the information that the first position has been selected. Then I fly to the second corner, which this time will be at the top of the arena, diagonally on the other side, exactly as I'm flying now. And again, I position myself to be at the complete corner of this arena, this time at the top. And now I use this command again, but I select the second position and press enter. We have confirmation in the chat, so it was successful. And now we need to add the appropriate team colors to this arena. As you can see, these are duo arenas, meaning 2 people per team. So I will need to add 8 different colors. Within the plugin documentation, it is clearly specified which team colors are available, and we must strictly adhere to them. So here's an important note for you in case you have an arena that is different from mine, and let's get started. We do this with the command bwadmin, select the arena we are editing, team add, choose the team name. Here the name can be one you come up with, I'll just write it in a classic English style, but the name can be your own. And we select a specific color. Here it is absolutely essential to adhere precisely to the list I presented in the plugin documentation. However, for us, this task will be straightforward. We also select the color yellow at this point and input the team size, which consists of 2 individuals. Naturally, you should adjust this according to your specific map. Generally speaking, I follow this process with each and every color. I will utilize the identical command. I will just add each team in accordance with the specific color, generating a name and specifying the precise number of members. Therefore, I essentially perform this task with every single island. I will halt at 4. It is necessary for you to proceed through all the islands you possess. I'll skip that part since it's just testing. However, if you want a smooth game, you need to mark every color that appears in this arena. And now we choose where they should appear. The participants of this particular team, therefore, we shall decide for them to manifest in this location. I utilize the command bw-admin, select the specific arena, team spawn, and determine which team will manifest here, which is the yellow team. I press enter and it is confirmed in the chat. Now I proceed to the subsequent island, which is the island of the blue team. I position myself here and employ the identical command, but for the blue team. And so you repeat this process with each of these islands for each respective team, and now we shall determine the precise location for the beds of these teams. Aim precisely at the white section of the bed and execute the command bw-admin arena 1 team bed, then select which team's bed it belongs to, in this instance the pink team. And you replicate this procedure with each of these islands and every one of the respective teams, this time the white team and so forth, this time the blue team. And at this point, we will proceed to establish the resource generators. We position ourselves precisely where we desire the generator to be located, for instance, in this spot, and utilize the command bwadmin arena spawner add. We then select which specific resource should manifest here. It could be bronze, gold, or iron. If there is a necessity for additional quantities of these resources, or if you wish to introduce your own, we can certainly accomplish that as well, but we will address that in the configuration file at a later stage. For the moment, I will simply place bronze here. Subsequently, we determine false or true. Based on whether we desire a hologram for this generator, I will configure it to true. And now, in the same manner as before, we must set up such a generator on each island, so I will position myself here once more and execute the identical command. This time there is no need to specify which team it belongs to within the command. Do not forget about those side islands as well. They frequently possess generators that you might wish to populate. Here are the diamonds. As I mentioned in our basic command, we can't set diamonds, we'll add them later. Now just for example, I'll set gold here. So I just change the command like this, hit enter, and it's done. So you literally fill in every generator on your map like this, including those in the middle. Wherever you position yourself and run the command, a generator will appear in the game. So for example, let's put iron here. I do it somewhat randomly. You adjust it to your map, choosing which resources you want, etc. Then we'll change it in the config so you have emeralds, diamonds, etc. Now that you have configured all the generators, we can proceed to establish our shop. Let's assume there will be a single shopkeeper positioned here. I will even switch to spectator mode and go here. Alright, I position myself at this specific location and execute the command bw-admin arena 1 store at. We select the designation for our shopkeeper. We have the option to utilize Minecraft colors, such as selecting a golden hue and naming him a trader. Additionally, we have the capability to choose a file here that delineates which specific items he offers for sale in his shop. We will edit these files later, or you can add another one to have, for example, 2 different shopkeepers on the island. This shop.eml is the default and we press enter. And of course, on each of these islands, we do the same thing, which is setting up our shopkeepers. It's up to you. You can also place them on the main island, do whatever you want. You choose where they stand, what shops they have, etc. If you are genuinely interested in experimenting a little more, we have the option to select what specific type of shopkeeper it should be by utilizing the command bwadmin arena 1 store type. And here we have the ability to choose, for instance. It could potentially be a feline, a bovine, or any other creature. However, I'll bypass that and let's simply designate it as a villager. Now we still have to determine the location where our players will materialize while they are waiting for the arena to commence. So I'll use the command up20. And here we'll set up a sort of pseudo lobby. This is just an example, you build it more nicely. I use the command bwadmin arena 1 lobby. This is where players will appear while they wait for the game to start. Now let's choose a place where the spectator will appear after losing, and let's assume it will be here, and this command is used to set that spectator. And now a crucial step to guarantee that all our modifications are not lost, we must save this arena by inputting the command bw-admin arena1.save. I then press enter. We have confirmation that it has been saved, and now we can return to our lobby, which means you go back to the lobby server if you have a BungeeCord, or to the world if you are using Multiverse Core like I am, or you simply stay in the same world if you are not using Multiverse Core. It is completely up to you. I just returned the multiverse to my main world, and now we will continue to add an entrance to our arena. The first method will be to add this sign. So we simply take a sign in hand, right click, type a square bracket with a capital letter Bedwars, close the square bracket, press enter to move to a new line, and type arena 1, which is the name of our arena. This must match the name of your arena, and I click done, and as you can see, it highlighted, it caught on. We have a counter showing how many players are there, how many are waiting, and what the state of the arena is. This happens automatically, and the sign transforms into an entry sign. Now when we click on it, we are naturally transported into our game, and we indeed appear on this platform. We possess a compass in our hand that enables us to select a team, and indeed these are the 4 teams I have configured. It's actually a map designed for 8 teams, but as I mentioned earlier, I configured only 4 for testing purposes to make it quicker. We are able to join any of them, and we can also exit the game using this item. Now, if you wish to alter the arena after you have saved it, you must execute the command bw-admin arena1 edit, which allows you to make further adjustments. For example, you can now incorporate extra parameters such as the minimum quantity of players necessary to initiate the arena. Then, keep in mind that you must save it once more. Alright, now let's explore the process of adding an NPC that will transport us to a random game. If we possessed, for instance, 5 distinct arenas in this location, it would select one at random for us and place us there. It's straightforward because there exists a command known as bw-auto-join, and when I execute it as a player, I am effortlessly assigned a random arena and transported to the lobby. And now it's sufficient that we possess an NPC plugin on the server, for instance. In my situation, it's citizens, and we configure such an NPC. We execute the command npc create and select a name, for example. By utilizing various colors, we have the capability to create maps, press the enter key, and subsequently opt for the command npc look close, ensuring it gazes in our direction. We have the option to select a skin for it, either by using a URL to apply a skin sourced from the internet, or by simply choosing a player's name whose skin it should adopt. In this case, I'll opt for my own skin and incorporate the command npc-cmd pause L pause R so that right-clicking and left-clicking trigger this command, executing it from the player's viewpoint. Consequently, we include pause P within this command, and here we specify the actual command, which will be the bw-auto-join command. I press enter, and I get an error because I forgot part of the command here, so we insert ADD here, and now this is the full command you need to execute to add this automatic joining to the NPC. I press the enter key, and indeed let's observe, click on him, and let's determine if it successfully teleports us. It functioned correctly, so the command is operational. It is crucial that for your player to have the capability to execute the bw-auto-join command, they must possess the necessary permissions. And that is precisely the reason we required lag perms, enabling us to now utilize the LP group command effectively. We select which specific rank group to allocate it to. In this context, you might have various ranks such as VIP, VIP+, and all your other ranks, but the fundamental rank assigned to every player is the default rank. Therefore, I select it and input the permission set bw.cmd.autojoin. Consequently, your player will now have the ability to execute this specific command without needing to be an operator or administrator on your server. Only then will this NPC function properly for them. Certainly, let's delve into the process that made it possible for me to have an NPC capable of opening a menu, allowing me to choose an arena, and then proceed to enter it. Okay, I'm going back. So the whole magic here is that I installed the Deluxe Menus plugin. It's quite a comprehensive plugin that allows us to create such menus in the game. Remember, we need to install the placeholder API for everything to work. Thanks to this, I can open such a menu by clicking on it. Now, how to create something so that a command like maps opens such a menu? Generally speaking, the subject of these menus is quite extensive, and I don't want to delve too deeply into it here, but I will show you the specific file that enabled me to accomplish this, so you can also modify it according to your own requirements. So we go back into the main directory of the server, your files, you need to access your files, go into the plugins folder, then the Deluxe Menus folder. It appears once you've uploaded the Deluxe Menus plugin to your server and restarted the server with this plugin. Then this folder is created, you go into it, and there's another folder here. This one is called GUI Menus. We proceed into it, and you will find 3 files present here that are loaded by default. And I have just created a new file here, and I open it. You can open it in Notepad, or I open it using the program Notepad++, and this is the complete content of this file, consisting of 80 lines. I will try to include it in the description so you can copy it and paste it here. In short, in this first line, we choose the title of this menu, which is displayed at the top of this menu. Next, we select the command that opens this menu. Here we enter true if we want this command to be displayed to players when they type a / in the chat. Here we select the size of this menu, how many tiles it should have in Minecraft. So, you know, a small chest has fewer slots than a large chest in Minecraft, you know what I mean. And here, this entire block is the first item. Here we have its position and what title it has. When I enter the game, we can actually see it under this command. Here it is in the 13th slot, and indeed it has the title maps. I'm going back to my file. That was the first item. Now we have the second item. This is its entire block. Here, we have inserted a head. As you have observed, these particular items are Minecraft heads to enhance their appearance, but you can also place a regular item such as cobblestone in this line, and it will be perfectly fine. We have again selected the place where this item is, what its title is, for example, Arena 1, what its description is, and what happens when we click on it with the left mouse button, and what happens when we click on it with the right mouse button. So what happens? First of all, the menu closes and the player executes the command BW join Arena 1, and this is very important. Here is simply a command that executes when someone clicks this item, and the identical situation is with the second tile. Here we have Arena 2, and we can give a command to enter Arena 2, which means I replace it to be bw.join Arena 2. We haven't created Arena 2, so it simply doesn't exist, but if you were to create it, just like we created the first one, exactly the same way, then this command would also work, and someone would just enter the second arena. And here's an additional section. These are the fillers, which signifies all these tiles you see here, and we have the concluding block that finalizes this menu. It is positioned in slot 40, and what it accomplishes is simply to close it, and indeed we have it here. When we click it, the menu closes. And now an additional note, if we have incorporated this new file here, we also need to incorporate details about it in the configuration file. Therefore, I return to this location in the deluxe menus directory, access the configuration file, and at the bottom I append maps::file:, and specify the name of our file. If we neglect to perform this action, merely appending this file and populating it with content will not assist us, so kindly keep that in mind. Once the file is added, it is necessary to refresh the plugin or the entire server, and only then will everything properly load. At this point, we have the capability to establish an NPC that will carry out this command on our behalf, and we proceed in precisely the same manner. This involves creating an additional NPC in this location, which we might name Arenas, for instance. Next, we set NPC look close, followed by NPC CMD add using either the left mouse button or the right mouse button. The command is executed from the player's perspective, and it will be the command maps. Upon pressing enter whenever I interact with this NPC, the menu conveniently opens for us because we executed the maps command as a player, and upon clicking here, we successfully join the arena. Note that if I typed BW join Arena 1, I would also join that arena. It's the same, we're just triggering it through the menu. And again, it's very important that we need permission for someone, especially players, to be able to execute this command. So again, LP group default permission set bwcmd.join enter. Now your players can easily use this command to enter the arena. These methods are simply more modern than regular signs, but they also have their charm, and it's nice to see where and how many players there are, and so on. This can also be done in the menu using placeholders, as it is a placeholder API, but as I mentioned, I don't want to delve too deeply into these topics because you can really do a lot with these menu files, displaying various variables, perhaps at a later time. Currently, we can indeed verify whether the arena is operational. I have decreased the minimum required number of players to 2, allowing it to commence. And let's go ahead and verify this. It has officially commenced. Our bronze is currently being generated. Our trader is currently standing and everything is indeed functioning properly. We have a small shop here. I'll demonstrate how to edit it further. But as you can see, I mainly wanted to show that it works. We also have our bed marked and we can play. Wonderful, it functions perfectly. Alright, now let's examine the files and I'll demonstrate how to configure specific elements such as the generators or shops. We navigate into the primary directory of the server, proceed into the plugins folder, and then into the Bedwars directory. Here we find, for instance, the configuration file labeled as PL. we open this particular file and modify those two characters, and following a restart, we ought to have the Polish language enabled. In this section, it is certainly worthwhile to thoroughly browse through all these available options because you might find them quite appealing. For instance, we have the ability to enable friendly fire among team members or alternatively disable players from dropping their items upon death. Additionally, we can modify the duration it takes for a player to respawn or alter the items that we had in the lobby as an example. Change the compass to something else and so on. And finally we reach, for example, the section of our generators, which includes the gold and iron generator. And now if we wanted to add, for example, to construct a diamond generator, you should just duplicate it, rename it, and substitute the material with a different block. It is quite crucial to utilize the Minecraft material naming list because certain names are written with an underscore, such as for instance. Here, you have materials such as wool, terracotta, and others. You can utilize the Ctrl+F function in the web browser to effortlessly search for specific items, like diamonds. No surprise there, that's the correct spelling. However, I wanted to present this list to you, and we can position these diamonds here, modify the name, adjust the frequency at which they manifest, and the radius within which they appear adjacent to the generator. If you save the file with this modification, then when we proceed to set up our arena or make edits to it in the location where all these materials were shown, we will also have diamonds present. And of course, you can also add emeralds or anything else you want and need. Here we also have a rewards section, so we can execute some commands for various events, for example, for a player's victory. They don't have to be rewards, they can also be, for example, some messages or simply events that you want to implement during your gameplay for certain occurrences. There is quite a bit here, as you can observe. It is definitely worth exploring all these files, customizing them to fit the gameplay experience you desire to create. Now, when we return to our folder where the configuration file was located, we can also notice the shop file, and that was the file we configured with the shopkeeper. Here we have a comprehensive list of all the items he offers for sale, so we have a section concerning armor where we can modify what upgrades it possesses, what material it is crafted from, and how much it is priced at. The subsequent section pertains to weaponry. In a similar manner, we have the capability to edit and manage each of these levels, altering the cost and the material. Here we encounter bows once more, along with a section dedicated to those more distinctive items, and ultimately a section for eliminations. So you can literally change every item in the shop. And for those interested, we also have a folder with our arenas and we can edit them from a file. Be careful not to do this while a game is running. It might be better to do it with the server turned off. However, if it's more convenient for you, you can also set it up here, so that's cool. And what is worth noting is definitely the permissions. If you need to assign them to ranks or to the administration or to players, you have a complete list here. Here, we additionally have a comprehensive list of commands that a player can invoke and the specific permissions they are required to possess in order to invoke them. So, just like we configured that permission earlier, or for instance this one, here we have all the commands available for the administrator. They are quite useful because here you can observe commands like configuring the minimum number of players necessary to initiate an arena, altering the game duration, and various other aspects I haven't mentioned but you might wish to configure, such as arena weather conditions or other elements. We can also initiate an empty game for testing purposes with a command, for instance. Distribute some items to someone for testing, like those resources, to test the shop or other game elements. We also have a cool command, BW add holo leaderboard, which adds a player ranking to see who is the best. This might prove to be beneficial for you, and there exists another command for presenting statistics, specifically player statistics. You can also arrange this attractively within your lobby. Now, a brief segment for those keen on configuring BungeeCord or Velocity to host these arenas on separate servers. We delve into the Bedwars configuration file, the primary config, and as we scroll down we encounter the Bungie section. It's located here and we must activate it. In the documentation, each of these fields is thoroughly described. The most crucial aspect is likely specifying the server, which involves entering the name of the server within the network that players are redirected to upon completing an arena. Furthermore, ModTD communicates with other plugins regarding the current game status, the number of players present, and whether the arena is active or not, so it's advisable to configure this as well. The author mentions that to gain access to arenas from our lobby, where the lobby operates as one server and the arena functions as another, we should utilize plugins such as BungeeSign. These plugins enable us to enter a particular server within the network using signs. Or we can actually combine this with plugins like deluxe menus and execute those commands there. We also have a link to an example of such a menu in deluxe menus on GitHub. Simply in one of the blocks, we use the command connect when a player clicks and select which server to connect to. This way we can create an entrance to the arena instead of using those regular commands when we have one server. So in the case of BungeeCord, most of the configuration is the same, but there are those slight differences. I sincerely hope that the guide was beneficial to you, allowing you to fully enjoy your Bedwars server and ensuring that everything proceeded smoothly. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing so you won't miss out on any upcoming videos. We'll see each other again soon. Hi!